Today we're going to talk about 5 top tips for mid-game players, and we're going to talk about all kinds of important things about which legendary characters to focus on, what level you should be taking gold to, when to stop G14 and G12, and how to spend your gear, what pieces to farm now so you're ready when you get up in the levels, and then lastly, I don't remember where else we're going to talk about. We've got a 5th one somewhere. It's on my boomer paper. But here with us today is McMull. And before I get into it, I kind of want to give you an introduction because I don't think a lot of people know you on where you're at. You're a Galaxy of Heroes guy, so you're a veteran of the hero collector community. And where are you at right now in Marvel Strike Force? What level are you at, and what's your power level?
I am at level 73. I'm at about 2.5 million total collection power, and just kind of pushing my way to 75 because that's when the real fun begins.
Okay, for new players, I recommend for them to go Star-Lord first, legendary, and you did that, correct? And then you eventually got Ultron, right?
Yep.
And so then the question is, then what? And one of the biggest questions I get asked all the time is, do I go for Black Bolt or do I go for Phoenix? So tell me what path you went, and you told me this earlier, and I think it's absolutely brilliant. But tell me what legendary you focused on and why you're just crushing it in the arena and doing so well.
Well, after getting Star-Lord and Ultron, my focus was Black Bolt. Black Bolt is just one of the best legendaries. Both Phoenix and Black Bolt are top legendaries, but Black Bolt is much better for you because number one, in order to get him, you have to use Asgardians, which will give you a fantastic war defense team, but also 2 of those Asgardians you'll use to unlock Phoenix. But Black Bolt is also used to get Ebony Maw, who I have, and that gets you Black Order, and that gets you a super great offensive team. But Black Bolt as a whole, he's just great. He shuts down Ultron. He's a direct counter to anybody in your arena team who runs Ultron. So you have him. If they don't have Black Bolt and you have Black Bolt, you've automatically kind of won the match because that's just how good Black Bolt is. But yeah, going straight for Black Bolt after getting Star-Lord is like a great idea.
Let's just make it simpler. You go hard for Guardians. Eventually, that you unlock Minerva, and then you can get Ultron. Fine. Go crazy on Asgardians. My goodness, they're amazing, right? Just absolutely go crazy on these guys right here because it does help you on your pathway to Phoenix, but it directly leads you to Black Bolt, which directly leads you to Ebony Maw. And right here, Asgardians, 2 of these characters, Hela and Loki, you're not going to regret any resources you put into this team, specifically in Hela and Loki. They're top 10 characters, and they help you get Phoenix, they help you get Black Bolt. This is a no-brainer, right?
Yeah. Okay, going straight for Asgardians. That's the easy That's the easy choice.
Okay, and so the whole game's about legendaries. What legendaries have you avoided, and what legendaries have you gone after or what legendaries you wish you would have gone harder on getting, and which ones do you feel like you hadn't have? Tell me about that.
The one legendary I wish I had gotten from before is Invisible Woman. I know her event's coming back soon, but I've got her at 180 shards, so she's at a 4-star with a 5-star unlock requirement, but I kind of regret not getting her because Fantastic Four is like one of the best offense teams for war offense. So I regret not getting her, but this next time around I'll get her. So
Sinister Six is the pathway to both Shuri and Invisible Woman. How much did you put into them? Because that's I think that's the number one thing to focus on too. Is that focus on Asgardians, focus on Sinister Six. Now, the difference I want to say though, the difference between Asgardians and Sinister Six is you can dump a lot of resources into Asgardians and not regret it. I think you'll regret it on Sinister Six. What did you do on Sinister Six?
They are all level 54 or level 60, gear 10, no gear beyond that right now.
Okay.
And that's as far as I'm going to take him on gear for a while. Unless I have to do more for 7-star unlocks, I'm not really going to touch him much more beyond that.
So you're able to unlock 2 legendaries with these guys, basically Invisible Woman and Shuri, and that's amazing. Now, there's a couple other legendaries out there that are important. Phoenix is deadly important. We'll talk about the pitfalls of pursuing Phoenix too early is because there's a lot of trash characters to get her. Yeah. And then we've also got Magneto, and Nick Fury.
Nick Fury.
Give me your thoughts on those three characters real quick. And we're gonna exclude Iron Man from this conversation. Unfortunately, he's not that great right now. But we'll talk about those other three.
Magneto, he's great. Honestly, I like the Brotherhood because they're a great offensive team. They're really useful in blitz. And Nick Fury and Shield, they're great for war defense, but you kind of have to have Coulson, which is only through milestone orbs, so it's based on your luck. But I mean, they're kind of, that's it. Like, you use them for Alliance War, and you got nothing else for them. I mean, they're like, we just did a video talking about like how we've ranked Ebony Maw with legendaries. We had Nick Fury and Magneto lower down because they don't have the broad use that you get with your other legendary characters.
No, they're important, but I think you can skip over them and get them eventually. Yeah. I mean, they're very useful, but you really can, skip the line by going to Black Bolt and going as Guardians. You've already got two of the characters right there, Loki and Hela for Phoenix. You're going to have to get Phoenix one way or another because she's the queen of Dark Dimension 3, kind of the same way that Minerva is the queen of Dark Dimension 2. So let's talk about something different here. And we're going to talk about tip number 2, gold resource management. Are you strangled on gold right now? Tell me about how horrible gold is. It really is, right?
It sucks. My when I completed Dark Dimension 2, I was in like 10 million gold, and I was like, all right, this is awesome. And then like a week, it was all gone.
Yeah. So here's the bad news. To take a character from levels 1 all the way up to 75 is almost 6 million gold. I think it's 5.6. It's a lot. It's almost 6 million, right? But I don't think people understand how steep it gets at the end. And I just want to talk about this, that let's say you go from level 1 to level 70. Halfway in terms of cost of gold is level 63. It takes the same amount of gold to go from 1 to 63 as it does to go from 63 to 70. And guess what? It takes that much to go from 70 to 75. It's like it's broken into like thirds. 63 is a third of the way, 70 is 2/3 of the way, 75 is 100% of the way. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's nuts how quickly that gold cost goes up.
Okay. And I want to talk about what's the difference between going from 70 to 71. This is kind of an important thing too, right?
Yeah. So going from 70 to 71, you get this pretty significant boost in focus and resistance for your characters. And that's very important because it, relies on you applying detrimental effects and also resisting those effects. And it's one of those things where I think it's at 70 to 71, and was it 73 and 75, I think?
74 to 75 is huge. Yeah, but going from 71 to 75 is huge also. But there's this natural break point on characters at 71. Like if a character needs focus and resistance, I will take them to 71. And let me just talk about this. So what characters do you max out? Which ones do you max out? Which types of characters? What game modes are you playing them in?
Arena. Arena should be the main focus of who you level up and gear up and everything. That's where you get your main resource or main income of power cores, and that's what kind of fuels things for you. Energy refreshes, supply refreshes, all that stuff. Your main focus should be Arena because those characters are going to get you the most kind of return on your investment.
Yeah, and depending where you are in the game, be very mindful of the Arena teams that you lose against. Yeah. I mean, think of those are the characters you want, are the teams that you're losing at, and those are the characters that should be upgraded. Absolutely. Like if you're getting beaten down by a certain team, look into getting that team, and then that's the team that should be maxing out gold. Yeah, because it's horrifically expensive, and there's a huge boost in focus and resistance from going from 70 to 71. And I hate to say this, but going from 70 to 75 is like 2 million gold, which is outrageous. 2 million out of the 5.6 needed to go from max to max level. And the thing is that there's not a lot of benefits to like health and damage and armor. It's like 2%, but the focus and the resistance goes bonkers. It's like 50%. So the focus and the resistance becomes a huge thing by taking characters level 75 and then also going from gear 13 to gear 14. So let's go to tip number 3 is understand the insanity of gear 14. Talk about that for me. Yeah. Now you're at level you're at level 73, but you're very aware of Gear 14 and you play against it in the arena. Talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, I don't play it against Arena yet, but I mean, one of the things that's kind of driven me crazy is like, if there's like such a little power increase when you go from tier 13 to tier 14, but it's not even close to being reflective of how much their stats go up just by increasing your gear level. I mean, this is something we don't see in Galaxy of Heroes, but
Right.
just going up a gear level, like just increasing the gear level itself, not putting any of the gear on, just that gear level boosts like all the stats by like 20 or 30%.
Okay,
it's
so
nuts.
But that doesn't happen on gear levels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
Yeah.
13. You get these very modest gains, like 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%. But going from 13 to 14 is insane. And I'm going to show you this right here. Now, I currently have a 6 gold star, 5 red star, level 75 Ebony Maw with 2 of the pieces, and so I have not gone to 14 yet. And we're going to focus on one number only right here, which is focus. What happens when I go to gear 14? Or let's just watch. It goes from 6,000 to 9,000, 9,100. It's crazy. So
that's a 30% increase just by increasing the gear level.
Yeah, so please understand that base 13 versus base 14 is only going to bump the character stats, like the collection power. The total power of the character will go up like 3,000, but it's getting like a 20, 30, 40% stat boost. And so it really should get like instead of getting like a 3,000 power level gain, it should be like 20,000 or 30,000. It's not reflected accurately in the character's power level. And so it's really important, and that's where we're going to go into tip number 4 is going to 14 is such a big deal that, and it needs all of these gold pieces, and some of them, like the Superior Basic Callus, you need nearly 1,000 per character. And so this is my personal recommendation. Like, if you're not gonna go to 14, don't put any of the Gear 12 pieces. Does that make sense? Because Gear 12 pieces start taking those gold pieces. So if the character's earmarked to go to 14, fine. But if you're not going to take it to 14, stop. You stop at 11. You go to 11. So a lot of these characters, you have to take a lot of characters at 13 to go into Dark Dimension 2, right? But but if you're not going to take them to 14, stop. You know what I mean? Just stop, because those gold pieces, like I need thousands of Superior Basic Callus, and it's like I wasted my life wasted my time upgrading these characters above 12. Like, stop at 12. Like, this Shield Trooper, trash. Shield Medic, trash. Like, I just completely wasted so many resources on these guys.
I can't believe you took Shield Medic to tier 14.
Just don't do it. So anyways, when you get a character up to 11 and you hit the button, you take them to 12, stop right there, unless you're going to take them all the way to 14, because those gold pieces, and I'm sitting in a position right now with Mr. Sinister where I have all the superior uniques, I have all the super rare pieces, and I just don't have enough of the bulk gold pieces. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like every character needs like 1,000, and if I could strip those pieces that I wasted in characters like Shield Medic and Shield Trooper and put them on my Mr. Sinister, that'd be way better. So I'm just saying stop at 12, and then unless you're going to go to 14. And then lastly, the supply store. Talk about the supply store for a minute. This is the last tip right here.
Supply store. If you ever see any gold piece of gear that costs 50 or 100,000 gold, buy it. Don't think about it. Don't say, oh, well, maybe I should go buy this. Buy that thing right away, because you are going to need them. You can only get them in 3 places: Dark Dimension, your orange war orbs, and the supply store. And Dark Dimension is not very reliable for getting gear. So you've got really only 2 options. And then you have to buy these.
You have to buy these. Like, you have to buy the pieces that cost 50,000 and 100,000 in this store. Even if you're just starting the game, and you're going to need so many of these later, you will thank yourself later. And then the ones that cost 72,000, or the multiples of the ones that cost 72,000, you got to pick your place on those. Would you say that's right?
Mm-hmm.
Which ones did you find that you absolutely need to get? Like I know this superior adamantium was important on certain characters like Ultron, but at
Yeah,
some point
like
you just
that.
get enough of them and then you don't need any more, right?
Yeah, like for tier 13, I think it's 10 or 12 to go
12.
to
Yeah.
tier 13, and then for tier 14 you need 24. So that superior quantum energy you have there, I'd need 24 of them to take Black Bolt to tier 14.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have enough pieces there. I've already crafted my piece for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are something you need to know ahead of time.
Yeah, if
So
you have a
pay
character you want to,
attention.
if you have a character that you want to take to 14, you're gonna need a total 36.
Yeah,
You know,
and you'll get an idea of what piece they
Yeah.
need, because when you take them up to gear tier 11,
Yeah.
you have to use the purple version of this, so you'll know ahead of time what orange piece you have to buy.
Yeah, so I'd be mindful of the 72,000 materials, but as far as I mean, at some point maybe I won't need any more skill. I understand that because it seems like there's very few good skill characters in this game that you want to take to 14. Maybe some of the new Black Orders, but yeah, if you got it. Okay, so let's recap. Focus on legendary characters. I highly suggest Asgardians and Sinister Six as excellent paths to amazing legendary characters, right?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, no brainer. Understand how gold works in this game. Going from 1 to 75 is not split up, it's very steep at the end. 63 is a third of the way up, meaning you could upgrade a character pretty easily with not a lot of resources up to 63, but it gets steep after that. 63 is a third of the way up to 75. 70 is 2/3 of the way up. It's crazy, right? How steep it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Plus, if you go to 60, you can do 6664 on your purple materials. Like you can get all the purple materials unlocked. You could stop at 60 or in 63 on characters that you don't really use a lot. You know, like good blitz teams, good war teams. Then secondly, understand how 14 is broken as all get out. Huge power, and you have to be very selective, which is tip number 4. Stop at 12 if you're not going to go to 14. And then number 5, you got to buy these pieces, right? So
Yeah, you have to buy them.
McMull has 2 channels. Your primary channel is McMull 2, which is Galaxy of Heroes. And then what is your newer Marvel Strike Force channel name?
It's just called MM2. If you guys are looking for it, you can search it, or you can just go to my main channel and you'll find it there as a feature channel.
Okay.
You can go through that.
Okay, yeah, you just started on you've not been playing that very long, and you already have Ebony Maw. You must have whale harded, my friend. Did you whale hard?
Oh, I did well.
Yeah, you did well.
Because I saw the Asgardians in Black Bolt, and I was like,
Okay.
this is great. This is perfect.
I don't know anybody that's been playing the game for like 4 or 5 months and has Ultron, Black Bolt, and Ebony Maw. You're working on Phoenix, I understand. All right, link to your Marvel Strike Force channel is in the description. And as always, thanks for watching. Keep on gaming. Bye.
Bye.